Yo, you made it. It's your favorite comic on the rise, Meldon Williams, and you are officially tuned into the Comedy Chatter Podcast. If you've been searching for a pod that talks all things comedy, as well as kick it with today's nationally touring and headlining comedians, then this is the podcast for you. What's good people? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of the Comedy Chatter Podcast featuring myself, Meldon Williams. How's everybody doing, man? Hopefully everybody's doing well. We have crossed over into a new year. Last time you guys heard from me, it was 2017, and now it is 2018. So happy new year to everyone who tunes in, who checks me out, who downloads me, who listens, subscribes, and supports. I appreciate that, man. Everybody knows that, I'm still trying to kind of build this thing up and grow it, bring it up from the ground up. My first episode was in June with the great Mr. Dean Edwards. Thank you so much for donning the pod, Mr. Dean Edwards. You started me all off, man, and like I said, I'm eternally grateful to you for that, for giving me that interview. But now we're 7 episodes in. This is episode 8. We're starting off the new year with episode 8. Man, I got so much to get into. This was gonna when I chat, basically I'm just gonna kind of do sort of a year in review. We'll talk about all things comedy, all things that kind of jumped off in the year of 2017. Stuff that I thought, should I say, not all things, but stuff that I thought was pertinent and important. And, to 2017 in terms of the year of comedy. So not only did the Comedy Chatter Podcast jump off and, come into everyone's lives, but we had some amazing things in comedy happen in 2017. So when I get my chat on a little later, I will talk about those things. But first things first, how I always do. It's a new year, but that doesn't mean I'm going to change it. I always like to, give my shouts out. I start off with 2 very important people who, were instrumental in me doing this podcast thing. Mr. Roger Feeney, one of the club promoters and managers and bookers and all of that stuff, everything. He wears many hats at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. Thank you so much, Roger, for believing in my vision, man. I came to him and I told him, I said, hey, I want to do this Comedy Chatter podcast. I want to do this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I want to call it the Comedy Chatter Podcast. I want to interview, headlining comedians that come in once a week, whenever they come in. People that I, am a fan of, or people that I think are interesting or have something to say on a pod. And he said, yeah, go for it. And all you have to do is just kind of get the information. And, I kind of hit him up and, in between shows or whenever they feel comfortable. And, some comedians like to have their own little rituals. So sometimes, hey, let's do it before the show or let's do it after the show. Some of them do it between the show, but it works out perfectly. So I just want to thank Roger. I'm going to do that every time and thank him for believing in my vision. And here I am 8 episodes in, and he was the guy that was instrumental in saying, yes, go ahead and do that. And everything's been working well. So thank you much, Mr. Roger Feeney. The second one is Mr. David Pittman. David Pittman, man, hey, that's what you call. I call him one of those people that are just like an angel of mercy, basically, because when I was hitting everybody else up saying, hey, man, I want to do this podcast and I need, some editing and I need some sound, equipment and I need, someone to help me put it together. They were like, yeah, I'll do that. It's going to cost you $1,000. It's going to cost you, and it's going to cost them. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, it's a podcast, we don't get paid for these things, you know what I'm saying? This is sort of a labor of love for me. I put it together just because I want to. So I didn't have any funds. I didn't have anybody sponsoring me. I didn't have any of that. So I talked to this guy from a friend of a friend. They told me to holler at this guy named David Pittman. And I did, and he didn't know me from a can of paint, man, but he was like, yeah, I'll help you. And he was instrumental in, helping me, get the equipment that I needed and telling me what I needed, telling me how to set it up, showing me how to edit, showing me how to do all of this stuff. And if it wasn't for him, I guarantee you I wouldn't have even got a chance to start this thing. So much love, David, man. That's my sound and editing guy. He helps me out still to this day. So I appreciate you, David, for helping me out. Back in the day sponsor. Yep. People have been cracking me up, like kind of telling me, hey, man, that thing's kind of funny, the back in the day sponsor. Because this is basically, everybody does sponsors, But I had to, of course, since nobody sponsored me, I can't get anybody that's, actually going to give me money. So I told myself, I said, hey, think about people that probably would have sponsored you if they're still in business today. Places like, so I kind of talk about places where like the back in the day, like when I was growing up. And so that's exactly, those are the places that I think about. And I made a nice long list. And so that's what the back in the day sponsor segment is. This time around, back in the day sponsor, Radio Shack. Radio Shack, hey. I had to actually look on Google. I had to Google Radio Shack and find out that Radio Shack was officially out of business. Because, I used to, Radio Shack, it was everywhere when I was in high school. When I was in middle school, high school, that was one of our spots, man. We would go hit up Radio Shack if we needed, you needed something. Like, if everybody go to Best Buy nowadays, like that was Radio Shack, like back in the day for us. You needed a VCR, you needed a cord, you needed a plug, you needed you needed a CD, any of that, like you go to Radio Shack. But, I guess Best Buy tore Radio Shack's ass up because I Googled it and saw that, hey, they closing down. They've been filed for 2 bankruptcies. So, all the Radio Shacks that I knew back in Ann Arbor where I was growing up are closed down. And the one here in Atlanta, I can't find a Radio Shack here in Atlanta. So it's safe to say that Radio Shack is, if they haven't gone all the way out of business, then damn it, they on the way. So that's the back in the day sponsor. Maybe Radio Shack, if they were still, getting it in, maybe they would be one of our sponsors. But much love to Radio Shack if they're kind of going through some financial hardships. Hey, and they're coming back. Hey, I'll be more than happy to take them off of the back in the day sponsor list. But yes, this go around, our back in the day sponsor is Radio Shack, the spot for all types of equipment and CDs and things of that nature back in the day when I was a young tyke coming up. All right, so I already told y'all what I was chatting on pretty much, man. What I'm chatting on this go around is basically, like I said, it's a new year. We're bringing in a new year, but we had so many, things that happened in 2017, and it was a very good year in comedy too. But there was certain important things that I felt were important, things that I deemed worthy to chat about on my podcast. So first thing is first. There's no way we could talk about comedy without talking about Tiffany Haddish's year. Tiffany Haddish, if there's ever been a phrase, if they've ever used the phrase or breakout star, should I say, if they've ever used that phrase and it fit anyone more, then please let me know, because hey, the term breakout star is exactly what Tiffany Haddish and who Tiffany Haddish was this year. She's been grinding for a while. Like I said, I got Tiffany on my Facebook page, man. Kind of a lot of comedians that are, whether they're big time or whether they're up and coming like myself, or rising, or just kind of floating around and doing comedy. If we deem ourselves comics, and we see, each other grinding. Everybody's got their own journey. I've always talked about this. So we're all on our own journey. But on the social media pages, a lot of us are, like in that comedy community. You know what I'm saying? So I got Tiffany, on my page. And, she's always, letting us know, letting people know about the stuff that she's been doing. So I've got a chance to actually watch, on her social media firsthand, all of this amazing stuff that she's done. And 2017, partner, like she went in. Like you guys already know, like, she recorded her special. She had her special on Showtime. You got to be big time in order for them to give you a special. And Tiffany had her first special. She was the first, black woman comic, black woman comedian. I know people were, when people were hearing that, they were like, no, like other people, they started yelling at other black women that hosted. But she was the first black woman comedian to host Saturday Night Live. So she did that. But of course, everyone knows that all this kind of came from her breakout performance in the movie Girls Trip with Jada and Queen Latifah and Regina Hall. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, all three of those people were noteworthy people, and everybody knew those people. They knew them from other movies and blah, 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 blah. But what they didn't know Tiffany Haddish, but you damn sure best believe they knew her after the film, because she went all the way in Girls Trip, and pretty much carved herself an A-list spot, because now shit, whatever she do, everybody wants. I mean, she's got new movies coming out. I think she's about to be in a new movie, Night School, with Kevin Hart. She's got other stuff. I'm sure they're gonna try to get some vehicles for her to get on, do on her own, in terms of movies and films. So yes, much love to you, Tiffany Haddish. 2017 was literally your year when it comes to stand-up comedy and all the amazing things that you did. The book, I didn't even mention the book, The Last Black Unicorn, New York Times bestseller. I mean, she just killed 2017, and I'm sure she's got so much more to give us in this new year, 2018. We cannot talk about Tiffany either, though, without talking about her comedy counterpart, Lil Rel Howery. Now, this guy is kind of near and dear to my heart, because I got a chance to meet Lil Rel when he was hosting over at Jokes and Notes in Chi-Town. Like I told you, I'm originally from Chi-Town. So whenever I go home, I think I had kind of started, doing comedy. And a cousin of mine, took me over to Jokes and Notes and told me he had been kind of dabbling as well. So he knew some people over there. And one of the people he introduced me to was the host of the show named Lil Rel. So I shook his hand and all that. We told, hey, man, we trying to get up tonight. Yes, looking good. Give it up for the good-looking people. Where you at? Give it up for the good-looking people. Yeah. Yes, I see you. I see you. Looking great, man. But who I'm really proud of, though, was the ugly motherfuckers. Give him a round of applause for coming out. Yeah. No, but seriously, I know some clubs don't even let ugly people in. So, hey, y'all made it. Hey, sir, you okay? You good? No, I'm messing around. How y'all feeling? Everybody good? That's good, man. Love it being in Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, man. I love being in Ann Arbor, period. Ann Arbor, I'm giving that about the weather. Ann Arbor, I love it here. You know what I love? I love the hospital. I love U of M Hospital. Great hospital. Oh, man, they actually take care of people. You know what I mean? I love the hospital here. Man, I was born in the ghetto hospital. Man, I was born in Chicago, Illinois. I was born in the most ghetto hospital. Yeah. Oh, you like Chicago? Oh, man, just don't be born there. I was born in Chicago, Illinois hospital, a ghetto-ass hospital, man. They put my mom out right after she had me. Ain't that a bitch? I'm talking about right after she had me, we had to go. I was born at 10:23 p.m. We was at the house by 11. They came in there talking about we need that bed. Ain't that a bitch? Shit, she just gave birth, sir. What is going on? Oh, man. Hey, your health is your wealth, though, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the doctor if you have to. A round of applause for that shit, right? Go to the doctor. Oh, man. I can't stand people nowadays, trying to Google their shit. They're trying to find out what's wrong. You know what I mean? Trying to Google their problems. They got a pain in their side. They gonna let me Google pain in my side and see what comes up. Take your stupid ass to the hospital. You know what I mean? I went on my friends, this is something you don't want to hear when you go over your friend's house. He's like, hey, hand me that scalpel right there. Hand me the scalpel. It's just my spleen. I'm just going to check my spleen. I got the hell out of there quick, you know? Didn't get a chance to get up, you know what I'm saying? But that was the first night I met him. And ever since then, obviously, he was on my radar, and I started just watching him, all kind of stuff. And, hey, 2017 was huge for him, too, because, hey, he jumped in pretty much the movie of the year. I don't know if it's going to necessarily win the Academy Award or not, but it might, maybe not. Don't even know if it'll be nominated. But Get Out was pretty much the movie of 2017, and Lil Rel had a hell of a role in it, and so that movie propelled him to be a pretty big star and have a pretty big 2017. I got him on, social media. I saw his Instagram the other day, man, and this motherfucker was a courtside at the New York Knicks basketball game. Knicks versus the Bulls, I believe it was, and he was courtside, and then them fools put his movie scene up on the jumbotron at Madison Square Garden now, and then put the camera down on him, had everybody clap for him, and hey, I'm sure that he was on cloud nine right then, because shit, that's big shit right there when you at Madison Square Garden and they consider you straight celebrity row. You know what I mean? The only other place that would be like huge is L.A. You the Lakers. You're in the Staples Center. All of fans that go, all famous people that go there. So yeah, man, Lil Rel had a huge year as well with that Get Out, and then he's been grinding for a while. He's another guy who's been grinding for a while. He had his special, I believe it was a couple years ago. Kevin Hart, gave him his special. But yeah, that movie Get Out has had him at all the award shows. He's rubbing elbows with all type of motherfuckers that he'll probably tell you to this day that he never thought he would probably, like, man, I never thought I'd be in the room with these people. But yes, mad shout out, mad love to Lil Rel for things that he did. Both of those people, Tiffany Haddish and Lil Rel, did Carmichael show. Who just kind of finished this last season. They were both in that, so that was huge as well. So yes, man, both of them, man, I salute y'all. Y'all had a hell of a 2017. Last but certainly not least, we got to talk about the Netflix specials. I think I've talked about this on one of the pods before, but the Netflix comedy specials that they like Netflix. First of all, Netflix just making all the freaking money right now. Like, I don't know too many people that don't have a Netflix account. And when you think about that, I think Netflix is like what? I think mine was $9.99 for a while, and I think it just went up to like $12.99 or something. But everybody's got a Netflix account. Everybody Netflix this, Netflix that. And I know some of you motherfuckers is giving other people the code and all that. But Netflix don't care because that shit it's over 100 million people with a Netflix account, so they don't care. But with all that said, they obviously got the loot to like give pay these people all this money. They basically they know this, they figured out that streaming is the future in television. People want to be able to pull it up whenever they want to see it. So with that said, they got buku money to give to a whole bunch of motherfuckers, and believe me, they doing it. I mean, we can start with my man Dave Chappelle, who I just saw his. I saw his first two when they first dropped a while ago here in 2017, but I recently got a chance just to see his last two. I think they said he was only supposed to do 3, but hey, they filmed one in L.A., man, where he was just up there just chatting and doing his comedy, and went ahead and dropped that one as a special too. All 4 of them shits was tight as hell. So. Hey, I gotta give that motherfucker Dave Chappelle. I know people. He pretty much done jumped off in the genius level at this point when it comes to stand up. Like he's genius level. Like it's we trying to make motherfuckers laugh every night, but Chappelle ain't even got to make you laugh anymore. Like you go to his shows to like I'm gonna laugh because he's good, but I'm gonna try to better my motherfucking self. You know what I mean? Like when I was watching his specials, I was like, I'm about to try to become a better fucking comedian. I'm about to damn near lightweight trying to become a better man, like watching his shit. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that's just where he is now in terms of stand-up comedy. When you can drop 4 specials in 1 year, dude, and all of them are deemed good, like that was amazing. So 2017, I saw like an abundance of comedy specials. Judd Apatow, Tom Segura, Patton Oswalt, just everybody. It was almost like if the Oprah did the cars that day. Like, you get a special, and you get a special. I mean, everybody like, but hey, Netflix got the loot, man. They got the money, and so they was, they know comedy is big. So D. Ray Davis, I think I saw his. I mean, just everybody got a comedy special in 2017. But the king of those comedy specials, Chris Rock, I still can't wait to see his shit. But yes, like Dave Chappelle was definitely put that shit down with those comedy specials. And, happy to see him, where he is now too, man. Like he told stories about, how, his exile and everything, and how he was, got kicked out, or should I say quit his show. People thought he was done. People thought he was dead. But hey, he just slowly but surely built his career back up to where it is now. And shit, now, Netflix got that loot, paying him the money, and he's, revered again as one of the, considered one of the best comics. So yeah, definitely 2017 was big for Dave Chappelle and Netflix. Yes. All right. Well, that's about it, man. So we had to just kind of do a year in review, things that I chat on. I got a hell of a guest for y'all coming up this go around. Another female, very funny. I like her a lot. I've got a chance to see her perform over at the House of Comedy in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's where I conducted my interview as well. She was nice enough to let me get a quick interview in between shows. Miss Sam J, very, very funny comedian. We're going to talk about in this interview, too, how she gains the distinction as being one of the only comedians that I've ever heard, in recent memory, be compared to the late Patrice O'Neal. Everybody knows how big of a fan I am of Patrice O'Neal, so that's what caught my eye when people say, yeah, man, her style and the stuff that she talks about, and she kind of compared to him. So we're going to get into that in the interview. You guys are going to enjoy it. Thank y'all so much, though. Like I said, without a doubt, man, we started this new year, and I'm going to have a whole bunch more super dope comedians that's going to be falling through, man, and I'm going to either have to go catch or they're going to come through the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase like they usually do, and I'm going to interview them. But, yeah, much more on the horizon from your boy Meldon Williams here on the Comedy Chatter Podcast. So y'all stay tuned, keep listening, keep subscribing, keep supporting, I'm going to keep doing my thing. So, yeah, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy this interview with the one and only very funny Sam J. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Comedy Chatter Podcast, episode 8. We are moving right along. I've been privileged. I'm on location, actually, tonight. I know I usually do these at the Ann Arbor Comedy Club, but tonight I'm in Bloomington, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Man, I'm on my way out. And I'm at the House of Comedy, Rick Bronson's House of Comedy, and I'm privileged enough to get to interview tonight Sam J. Sam J, what's going on, Miss Lady? How you doing?
Man, ain't shit.
tell
get this work done.
Yeah, tell me about that grind. And I know you said the first show was pretty good tonight, huh?
It was short.
Yeah.
People came, we talked.
Yeah, I understand.
That's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for. Yeah, I usually judge a crowd not by the numbers but by the energy. You know what I'm saying? So if the energy was good.
It could be 4 people if the energy dope. Energy dope.
Energy is dope. Exactly. 100%. Well, first and foremost, whenever I start my pod, I'm a huge Hoop fan. I know how I can deal with folks just by the way they answer, the way they respond to this question. So I always ask, and then pretty soon I'm gonna do a best of compilation and put all y'all stuff together. So I gotta know exactly how you feel about this question. So if you any way you can want to take this question, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, which one you got?
I only can pick one?
Yeah, you can only pick one. Oh, okay, Kobe. All right, yeah. Let me hear you. You retired the other night, and
yeah. I mean, I picked Kobe just because of my generation. Not that Jordan wasn't a better player. I just have to be honest. I didn't grow up in a Jordan generation. I was born in '82. Gotcha. So by the time I really knew basketball, understood the sport, I was it was the early '90s, and Kobe was 18, I was maybe 15.
Yeah,
so it was like that's who I came up with. So
he was a bad boy.
And he was nasty. He was nasty.
Bad boy.
I remember that All-Star game when him and Karl Malone had beef because he didn't want to change his number. And Karl Malone was like, he's a rookie. He shouldn't get to pick a number. And Kobe was like, fuck you. And I was like, all right, I love this
I mess with him now.
But then from then on, I was like, that's my guy, So I'm a Kobe fan from forever, So I can't just I would be a liar to claim Jordan.
I got you. Or LBJ, which everybody's trying to do right now.
I would be a liar to do that. Yeah. I'm a Kobe fan, man.
Okay, now you're a Laker fan too, or just Kobe?
I'm a Kobe fan. So I was a Laker fan because of Kobe, and it made me like the rest of the team. Yeah. And then I started Fisher, I had like Ori, like I had people that I liked on the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? But it really was just focused around Kobe, making me like the Lakers. Like I was never really a big Shaq fan. I was a Kobe fan. I like the finesse of the way he played the game. I like the intensity of the way he played the game. I like a guy that just plays like he's never going to lose.
Yes, and that's him. That's cutthroat as hell. Exactly. Well, first and foremost, man, I just got to say right off the bat, I'm a fan. I'm trying to know how I can be like you. So you are at this point. Hey, you
ain't
doing
no way to be like me, bro. You gotta be like you.
You're right.
That's the way to be like me.
You're right. Like you're right. I'm trying to do exactly what you do, and I'm noticing that you headlining clubs, of course, but you also getting it in at the festivals. I heard you've been killing it in Montreal. Just for last Montreal, you've done that a few times, right?
I've done it once, man.
Okay, you done it once. Okay,
one time. Did New Faces.
New Faces. Yep. So you've done a few festivals though, right? And killed.
I've done a few festivals.
Yep.
I don't know if I killed them. I just did what I do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know either way.
Yeah. Now you moved on to like doing some TV. You writing for Saturday Night Live? Did I see that?
Yeah, I'm writing.
Yeah, awesome. See, that's definitely. So that's the reason why I said I'm gonna start off by just kind of
half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a cool year of stuff.
Okay, so all this is just kind of within the year. Mm-hmm. Oh hell yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah! This has definitely been a cool year. Yep.
Trump became president, and I had an amazing year. I don't always have it, but
very true.
It's like everybody's like, "Worst year," and I'm like, I can't really say that.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty tough year for me.
Well, hey, we all got our own journey. I got it.
Maybe next year will be rough, but this year has been pretty saucy.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, I'm living in Atlanta. I got living in Atlanta, so I know you got
8 years,
I know you got ATL ties from what I read the Globe. I read the Globe article, by the way. So that's kind of what kind of did me some prepping. So tell me about how through the ATL influenced any of your comedy when you was there. Did you start there? Did you do any comedy when you was there?
I didn't start in Atlanta, man. When I decided I wanted to come, I went back to Boston because I knew the tradition of Boston comedy and how rich it is and how strong it is. Yeah. So I went back home and really just worked it out there.
Okay.
But I love Atlanta for Atlanta.
Yeah.
I love everything that Atlanta was ever to me. I went down there to go to college, and I stayed for 8 years, and that's Atlanta. And you go, you don't come home.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
It's black excellence. it's black excellence and the worst version of black people all over.
Very true.
Worst and the highest levels of blackness in one city.
Very true. Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I've been there 10, and so when I saw that, I was I got to ask about it. Some her Atlanta. So you had some Atlanta, background in there.
Indeed.
Yeah. So you got it in Boston. That's kind of where you started. Now I noticed it said you were born in Atlanta, but you moved to Boston when you were young. So you pretty much came up there.
Yep. Okay. I'm born in. Well, no, I'm lying. I was born in Georgia. So I was born in Georgia at College Park. Moved out of College Park when I was a baby, so I never lived in Georgia. So I basically am from Boston.
Exactly.
Grew up in Boston my whole life. Yeah, 100% a Bostonian.
All right. Now I saw something too that I thought was very interesting. I want you to touch on. Top 5 all time for me is Mr. Patrice O'Neal, and loved him very much, man. Hated when he passed, but I got hip to him right before he passed, and so I read in the article that they was doing a lot of comparisons with you and Patrice. So I saw. I saw your eyes raised. So just to touch on that, because I mean that's got to be humbling, but also some pressure because he was a hell of a comic. So touch on that if you could.
I mean, it's been going on for a while now, and I'm doing the Patrice O'Neal Billy Fit that Bill Burr runs.
Oh, okay.
On the 20th of February, and I'm very, very honored to be asked to do that.
Yeah.
You gotta be asked, and just to know that I was on that radar to be asked is fucking humbling and an honor. And he's from Boston, so he's from our firm. He actually went to high school with my brother. They played football together at West Roxbury.
Cool.
But I'm not gonna pretend I grew up knowing him and nothing like that. My brother was way older than me. He had his friends. I didn't know his friends. So I don't know anything of that, but I know Patrice in the comedy realm, and I really, and I know most people won't believe this, but I really don't. I didn't know a lot about Patrice. Like I remember seeing him from like Best Week Ever. We used to do little spots on that on VH1, and I remember that because I just remember all the comments they used to do. That it was like Sherrod, it was like him, it was like Michael Ian Black, and it was like Doug Benson, and I used to watch a lot of Best Week Ever because I loved the format, and so I remember him from that, and then a couple of like Opie and Anthony clips, but I never really like delved into it. And then when I saw Elephant in the Room, and this is after I was already doing stand up, And I got the comparison when I saw Elephant in the Room. I said, okay, I get it. But it also made me not watch anymore. Because I was like, I don't want to be influenced or oversaturated with another thing that's not me.
Smart.
You know what I'm saying? Smart. So kind of like scared away from it. Genius, honest, all the things I really try to be. Just truthful and conversational. Yeah. Which is all I want. I want you to feel like when you're at my show, you're talking to a real person, and it's just like a vibe of like we chilling and talking, and like you don't there's no real format to this. I hate the type of stand-up where I'm like, you're setting me up, you're setting me up.
Yeah.
I like to be surprised.
Yeah.
I like that from everybody. Like I feel like Chris does that. Everybody does. I like kind of get hit. Chappelle does that.
Yeah.
Surprise me.
Yeah.
Catch me with the setup when I'm not ready for it. Catch me with the punch when I'm like, oh, here it comes, or bring me to a punch I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the comparison to Patrice just at the end of the day, we're just both Boston niggas, and there's just a way that coming up in that city breeds you to be, and breeds you to just think and move because you see so much shit. And
he talks about that a lot.
And I don't know how else to explain it beyond that. And I don't even know that he talks about that. Like I didn't even know he speaks on that. But like,
he talked about.
I'm just a Boston cat.
I understand.
And he's just another Boston cat. So the energy that is like that energy is Boston.
Yeah.
That's it.
I understand.
This is where I grew up.
I understand totally. So, tell me a little bit more about the Saturday Night Live gig. So you've been How long you been?
This is my first season.
So were you there recently when Haddish swept through? When Tiffany Haddish
I was there first.
Yeah, swept through because I got her.
All season.
I got her on my Facebook, and boy, man, that was huge for her.
Yeah.
Like everything. I mean, of course, it's a huge thing, but yeah, that's all I got. We was bombarded with her going to Saturday night. I was like, man, yes, tell us more about that. So when I saw that you wrote, I was like, I wonder if she can. And that kind of wave just kind of came through.
Before that.
Oh, okay.
Tiffany knew each other from LA and shit.
Okay.
So it was just cool to have somebody I knew come through, you know?
Yeah.
Period. And just vibe on some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was fun times. I didn't, it was cool.
Yeah, she having a hell of a year as well. Yep, definitely. All right, well, you already talked about Rock. I think I heard you mention Chris, heard you mention Chappelle. I always kind of try to ask the comedians that I'm interviewing who they're fanning on right now, kind of who they digging, who they fucks with.
I mean, always Chappelle.
Yeah. And it could be like, new, it could be old.
Oh, new guys, man. There's so many. There's so much good new comedy, man. Like, Jack Knight, who's a young guy coming out of Seattle, but via LA. He's fucking hilarious. Smart, insightful.
Okay.
Like he's gonna be it's just a given. Chris Redd, who's also, homie, Jackson homie, Langston Kerman.
Yeah.
Just like those are that's like my squad of people that I constantly like kick it with, talk to, and vibe and do shows together with. But I mean, there's a scene, and it's such a up and coming black scene. You got Nori Davis, you got Michael Che, you got, Sam Monroe Martin, you got, James, you got a wave. You got a wave coming to people, and it's exciting.
Yes, and you are definitely a part of that too. I'm happy to see that too.
Jordan Temple, man.
Jordan Temple, okay, yeah, I'm writing. I'm getting up mentally, taking all of these down.
Jordan Temple, man,
so I can check some of them.
He got a play that he did. Brought it to LA. It's in New York. It's been critically acclaimed, called Hidden Fences, which is kind of like a play on
both of the movies, both of our movies.
And it's so funny and smart. There's a lot of good, smart, funny stuff going on. And it's super duper duper exciting to see it all coming together.
All right. You messing with this all Def Jam, like kind of the Def Jam Rebirth thing?
Oh, I would have loved to do it. I love Jeru. I love Stan. And I would have loved to be a part of it. It was a great look. And I thought that he displayed the right young talent. Jordan Rock, who's a brother to me, Leonard Oots. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of good young talent on there that I really fuck with. That kind of we came up in the circuit together. We've been bumping heads and bumping around together for a while. So it was good to see it all happen.
Cool.
I was glad to see that happen.
Yo, thanks so much for checking out the pod. A very special thanks to my guest, Sam J. You can check out all our social media outlets for future show info. Check out the next episode of the Comedy Chatter podcast with another nationally touring comic and, of course, me, Meldon Williams. Make sure y'all keep listening, subscribing, and supporting. Y'all be good to yourselves and each other. Take care.